Okay, so we are here after a final score of 38 to 27 loss for LSU in the season opener to UCLA. Long story short, I think first thoughts on this game is we lost this game completely in the trenches, and it's so easy to lose a football game up front, whether that's offensively or defensively or however you want to call it. LSU was unable to run the ball for the entirety of the game. It seemed like they only had a handful of runs that were somewhat successful. I don't think we had a rush over. I don't think we had a rush over 10 yards. If it was probably by Max Johnson. It was 12 yards. Davis Price, 13 carries for 30 yards. Long rush of 8. While the other side of the ball, UCLA ran it down the throats. UCLA almost had two 100-yard rushers. Charbonnet averaged over 10 yards carry, had 117 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, the front seven for LSU got beat in every facet of the game, I feel like. They were beat with crossing routes. They were beat with runs. I don't think we tackled Charbonnet or Brown for UCLA with one player. Very frustrating. I don't know if a defensive lineman made a tackle on a running back for the game. It felt like every time we made contact, it was 3-4 down. It was always at the second level of the defense. The defensive backs, if there was a bright spot defensively, defensive backs maybe did well enough. UCLA didn't throw the ball a whole lot. They were 9 of 16 for 260 yards. They did have 3 touchdowns. They killed LSU on big plays. Big plays is what did it. I think the testament to that is the first downs, although they had a bunch of first downs late in the game. But was first downs, LSU out first downed them, 24 to 19. The time of possession, UCLA definitely owned that towards the back end of the fourth quarter. But before that, LSU had time of possession. They had first downs. They had nothing to show for it. Max Johnson, I'm not going to say Max Johnson was terrible, but there were definitely anywhere from maybe it's not terrible, maybe 6 to 9 throws in the game, without knowing the exact number, where I feel like he was just a little bit off. Some of them are way off. If he hits on half of those, we might be talking about a slightly different game. I don't know that we win it. Without a running game. Hard game to watch, tough game to watch. We had like 1 rushing yard towards the end of the first half. Didn't look like we were trying to rush the ball. We kept trying to run it up the middle. A single back formation. The hell do I know? Anyways, real frustrating. I feel like our linebackers are always, they killed us over the middle passing. And by having such a strong running game, those play actions were huge. First or second touchdown of the game. The tight end for UCLA, Dolkich, 3 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown. He had a 75-yard touchdown reception. Just, it did seem like in the second half we made some adjustments that proved to be beneficial. But just the big plays killed us. We only had 2 penalties in the entire game, I believe it was. There was a pretty big false start near the end of the first half that resulted in us having to punt. After the false start, he made the 52-yard field goal. I don't know what the wind was like, but we didn't attempt it. We ended up punting. Final score would have been 38-30 maybe. But one thing is for sure, Kayshon Boutte is going to be tremendous. BKM's athlete, baby. You came to the right place. 9 catches, 148 yards, and 3 touchdowns for him. He looked electrifying. We're gonna need to get him the ball more than 9 times a game. That's for certain. So we've got, I don't know. I'd like to see more commitment to the run or just effectiveness. The offensive line. I will say this: UCLA's defense. I don't know how great they are, but I tell you what they did do. Whoever was dialing up those plays for UCLA, huge Huge. They were sending 5, 6 guys constantly all night at Max Johnson. And there were times when he definitely looked uncomfortable. I feel like he should look a little more comfortable given his experience from last season. But regardless, man, dude, that O line, they were overwhelmed. Um, there were a couple times in the pocket where Max Johnson was trying to pump fake. And in the midst of pump faking, he just like threw it into the dirt. A couple of times where he was just like a hair behind a receiver. A couple of times it was like slightly overthrown. Like we've seen this before. We've seen this. The good thing is we have McNeese State next week. I'm not sure what else. Ricks had an interception. It was pretty just tossed right into his thing, right into his arms. But I mean, he was in the right spot, so I'll take that any day of the week. I don't know. Hard game to watch. Tough game to watch. They UCLA really took it to us on both sides. Well, definitely they took it to us on offense. Their offense. They just ran all over us, man. It took 2-3 guys to tackle their running backs the whole night. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. I think still a relatively young team. There's not a ton of seniors, but enough experience back to where like I feel like that's an unacceptable loss. We're not used to this, people. We're not used to this. I'm not jumping the gun here because it's 1 week. It's one game, and there's a ton of season left. Last year, we started out really bad, and the season ended on a good note. I think we won most of our, we went on a little win streak last season. It's just we're not used to this, people. When LSU used to struggle offensively like this, like we were still winning. We were still winning. And this is not an indictment against Ed Ogeron, but it's to be said that, man, when we were doing this with less, man, we were still winning most of these. We were still a 10-win team. Struggling offense, 10 wins. You know what I mean? So they got their work cut out for them. I'm not sure I love this offense scheme. I don't know. I think we're really missing Joe Brady. I don't know. We're missing it. I don't like the way we run the ball. A lot of what we were throwing, and maybe we were like just taking what the defense was given to us. They might have been playing deep. I'd have to run it back and watch that game again, which I might. But the slants were there, the quick routes were there. We were hitting them, pop, pop, pop. A couple of times I had no idea, even with the pressure, where the Max Johnson interception where he rolled out to his left immediately with the pressure. There was one tight end. He just right over the tight end, right in the linebacker's hands for the interception. It was just taking like 20-something yards. I don't know if they got a touchdown or field goal out of that. It was really frustrating though. Like how? I mean, just throw that thing out of bounds. He was outside the tackle box. It's going to be a long one. I think we're in for a long season. I think we had false expectations last year. I think we need to get the right expectations this year. I do expect more. I don't know, man. You guys stay tuned. We're going to come at you for big things from Boot Crew Media. Hopefully we can do this for every – I'm displaced in Brandon, Mississippi right now. And I am from Louisiana, Luling, obviously, Boot Crew Media. But I am from St. Charles Parish. So I am displaced in Brandon, Mississippi right now. So the next month might look like this with this background and this setting and maybe this teddy bear right here. But we'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned. I hope we bring you guys some great content, and I appreciate everything. You guys have a good one.